months. And I it's like the weirdest day to do makeup because my tremors have been really bad. So I have a small essential tremor, which means my hands naturally shake a little bit more during certain times of the day, or if I haven't eaten or whatever. But I'm having some side effects from some medications that are just like amplifying it to like a million. And I know during Disability Awareness Month, which is July, I did a lot on TikTok talking about adaptive and like assistive technology with doing makeup. So I feel like I was like, oh, well, I really wanted to do makeup today anyways. And I knew that this was, going to make it a lot harder. So I was like, let's just go for it. Like this makeup might not be my best, probably won't, but that's okay. I just wanted to do makeup. So that's okay. So let's just go for it. And we'll try to see what works the best because it's always like a learning process doing makeup with different abilities, especially when they do change from day to day, and also like just in the duration of doing makeup. Like if it takes me an hour to do my makeup or something, then I'm going to be significantly shakier and my hands are going to be weaker by the end of it versus the beginning. And I'm already starting off really shaky. So I think my anxiety also plays a part in it. So when that's bad, it's even worse. So this is gonna be fun. So I'm gonna start with some primer for my face. I couldn't find because I recently went out of town, and so I like kind of how I cleaned my apartment. I just kind of pushed everything, in the most inconvenient place, and so it's going to take me a little while to unfurl my life. And I could only find one foundation. It's not my favorite foundation by any means. Like it looks really, really nice. It's one of the ones that I did a review on last year. I don't know if I uploaded it or if I ended up not, but the foundation was nice and it looked really good, but it made me break out like a lot of drugstore foundations do. And so I ended up giving it the boot. I think that it's going to work for a lot of people, but for my skin type, it was a no from me, dog. So this is the Secure the Blur one size primer. And so I usually just go in the places where my pores are larger or I have texture, which is most of my face, let's be honest. My body loves testosterone, my face not so much. That's okay. And also, I did not shave my mustache off for this part. Usually I shave my mustache when I do makeup, just because makeup sits really weird on it, but I've been liking having a mustache, so. I did shave my 15 hair to make up my beard, because they just don't look like they belong, but it's coming in thicker, just still a process. Okay, now I'm going to go with MAC Studio Fix Mattifying 12-Hour Black Shine Control Primer. I wish they would have shorter names. Honestly, I'm tired of these really, really long names for products. It takes you like 10 minutes to say it. And this is going to go anywhere that I have like breakthrough oil throughout the day. So mostly just in my T-zone. Pretty much it's going to be in similar areas where I have larger pores, because that's why you get larger pores when you have congestion in there that stretches them out over time. So one of the things that I'm really focusing on is not using a ton of brushes if I can help it, because just to hold, and I really like using brushes, so that's going to be a challenge. But holding a brush, especially some of these smaller brushes, they require a lot of hand strength, and keeping that hand strength going while you're using it, and then it also fatigues your hand. So I'm going to try to use things that are larger or use my hands where I can. So I'm going to be using the Maybelline Super Stay 24-hour skin tint with vitamin C. I'm going to shake it. The color I have is like real light. It's 110. It's like the lightest, if not one of the lightest colors. But these formulas I like to make sure I mix up, especially because there's like pearl in there. I don't know if you can see it. There's that little bit of shine. And that can, because that's typically suspended in there, you want to make sure you're mixing it well so you don't get like a lot of it or none of it. Want it to be as even as possible. It's a very liquidy product because it's a skin tint. You can definitely apply this with your hands, but I just prefer a beauty blender for more even coverage. And it's not a lot of coverage, but it is more coverage than you get from a lot of skin tints. This is the hardest piercing to get around. Now, I think I recall this being advertised as like buildable. I don't agree with that, because when I've tried to build it on itself, I did not agree with that statement. I thought it looked very cakey. So it's just evening it out and brightening up, because it's a slightly lighter shade than my the shade I am is mixed in there, but just taking a little bit on my hand at a time so that I don't put too much. Now this does dry down to like a kind of matte finish, but then you have, like I said, that pearl that's going to give you like a little bit of like luminosity. In the Super Stay line that Maybelline has, they're really good at making products that dry down and stay, but sometimes those can be very drying to your skin. And I think that's what breaks me out a lot with the Super Stay line, is just how my skin kind of tries to react to the drying. My nose ring is coming out. Make sure to get in all the nooks and crannies around your nose and piercings. All this pouncing on my skin is making my earbud fall out. Like you can see, it's more even. It's not perfectly even, but that's okay, especially in times where you just want like a little bit more coverage. You want a little bit more even of a skin tone. If this didn't break me out, this would be my favorite foundation, but it's a pretty big thing that I don't compromise on, because it kind of defeats the purpose. You have to wear more and more makeup every day. You can't wear this like low coverage skin tint. Okay, under my nose ring. But if your skin is not as sensitive as mine, you can wear it. I'm just going to take a little bit on my eyelids to even that out. So better. I look less haggard than I did before. So that was like 3 full pumps of this, I think, or somewhere around there. my favorite concealer, which has been kind of discontinued. Do I have enough? Please, please. It looks super light. Maybe it's just because how light of a coverage I have on the rest of my face. Because when I wear like my house labs, like that's so much lighter than my skin tone that this is kind of like the same color. I know I have another fresh tube of this, but I don't know where it is. So just like brighten up the center of my face. Okay, have that on. You can stop and not do creams if you want. I personally like to do my cream contour. Oh, look, there's more that you can conceal. Okay, let me. Hey, Zach, welcome in. Gonna find that contour color eventually. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. I'm gonna find that color. Like I said, packing everything up when I went out of town. I have no idea where anything is. Okay, so it's been so long since I've done makeup. I don't remember where anything is. So that's the big problem. It's me. Sorry, the smoke alarm is constantly going off in this building. I was looking at past pictures of when I had done my makeup, and I always thought that I was putting my contour in the right place. And, it's just kind of the process of doing any kind of, I guess, anything. You look past what you did. Like, you look back on what you did like 10 years ago, and you're like, oh, now I would tweak this and this and this. And for my face, I have to be so careful about where I place my contour, because if I place it too low, because my face is so round that my face, if I go right here, I get this like huge round cheek look, and it's really unflattering. But I thought I was really doing something there. even when I was a lot skinnier, my face has always been quite round. So you kind of have to play with the dimensions that you're naturally given. So what I like about this is that you can put it right on your face. With this particular product, I can put the right amount on. I feel like I don't really have too many problems usually by squeezing too much out on. But if you do have problems with squeezing, you don't necessarily have a lot of control. You can always put it on the back of your hand and then put it on your face. So you're not enjoying the snow, Zach? So I've been seeing this style of doing your nose contour that's very like Eastern, and I really like it how it looks on other people, and I think if I did it right, it would look very flattering on my nose type because I have a really skinny, small nose anyways, and this makes it look wider, and I really like that. So I'm gonna give it a try. I've never one of the videos I wanted to make when I started doing makeup again, like recently, was going to be just trying a bunch of different things that I've never tried before, and this was going to be one of them. And because there's a lot of things that are really popular now that I have either avoided because I'm like, that's not going to look good on me, or I just kind of have felt like it's going to be a little bit of a fad, and I try not to fall into those just so I don't look back on pictures and be like, why did I do that? But there's some things that I'm like, this is pretty cool, and I've never thought about trying it. So I'd definitely say this makes my nose look wider. This little swoop out here. Not necessarily shorter. I could go try a little bit more with that. Oh, got a phone call. 1 second. My mic was off. Sorry, I did a whole talking thing that you missed. Sorry. Okay. So I was saying, sorry about that my tremor has been pretty bad, and we're trying to figure out why. And we don't really know why. We're doing some. I was supposed to have a visual test to rule out or diagnose one specific type of involuntary movement called tardive dyskinesia. Okay, so I'm going to do blush like I don't normally do blush, but I'm just going to have fun and do kind of what I had intended, which is just makeup that I don't normally do. But it looks so good on other people that I'm like, I want to try it. If it looks terrible, it looks terrible. You wash it off, it's makeup. It's really not a big deal. I don't know if that's quite the color for what I was going for, but I don't have a ton of cream blushes because they're not my favorite. So I'm very specific about the colors I get. And I also can't really wear a lot of like very, very pink colors. It just doesn't suit my skin tone. But yeah, so we're trying to see if that's what's going on or if it's something else. And it's just been a really, like, if you are shaking as bad as I am, like, people watch you do everything because they're like freaked out because they're like, why are you shaking like that? So it's kind of embarrassing. This is much more the color that I was going for. I'm not going to take it as low as I've seen some people take it because, again, with the roundness of my face, I just don't think that is going to serve me. I'll take it up a little bit higher. I always particularly liked that look. So yeah, my hands are just tremoring crazy. So I don't feel like my hand's getting incredibly fatigued with this, but I am noticing that my hand's a little bit more tired than when I started. Now, I am seeing a lot of people setting the same color with powder that they did in cream. I don't like that because I think it's a high chance of getting patchy. So I like to do a translucent layer between, and then I do the colors on top. Just personal preference. So translucent powder. And I'm going to take this, smooth out. Snowing and you're eating ice cream. You're living the dream. Well, like less for the snowing. I know you don't like it. But ice cream is awesome. What kind of ice cream? I got a ton of powder in my eye just now. I think I just like placed it inside my eyeball. If you don't like people touching their eye, look away. That was a lot. And then I bake in the places where I get oily. It's the only thing I found that actually helps those areas. Mango ice cream. That's cool. But it's not like a sorbet. I don't know the difference between sorbet and ice cream, honestly. And then just like a light layer of powder over everything else just to make sure it's set, but it doesn't need to be caked and baked on. So I just kind of like pat it like that so it disperses. There's this one, so I watched this this I guess web series TV show called Very Important People. It's very, very funny. And basically they take comedians and they put them in like crazy makeup and like full like special effects. And they like the person doesn't know what they're going to be before they get put into this makeup, and then they have to create a character around that like instantly, and then they go on this talk show called Very Important People, and the host is the same every time, and the host is incredible. Like their ability to stay in character the whole time is insane. But one of the recent episodes was they did this character, and they did this like 5 o'clock shadow look on this person, and it looked so real and so good, and it was an application that I had never seen before, and now I'm like, I gotta do that, because every time I've done it, it's looked like hot garbage. I love makeup, but special effects makeup is something I've always wanted to be good at and have never been good at, like never been particularly good at. So so I want to try it because it looks incredible, and it also looks like it could be very gender affirming, which big fan of. Okay, so I'm gonna look at some different blush options because I'm just gonna go right in because we kind of lost a bit of the blush right there. I'm just gonna look at some colors that I have. Now I'm gonna use a brush for this with powder blush. I feel like that's kind of the way to go. So I'm going to start with kind of my darkest color, which is not that dark, but how I want it built. I think that this will be best. So it's kind of like a mauve-y color and foldable. Yeah, so the health stuff has been kind of distracting and annoying because like even people that I've known for a very long time are just like kind of not worried, but it's very distracting to everyone. You can't, like, I'll be trying to eat, like I went out to eat with my friend when I was in Raleigh, and like I'm like trying to, of all things, like, so we went out to get pho, and I'm trying to eat with chopsticks, which is just a horrible idea because, and usually I'm fine with chopsticks. Usually I'm really great with chopsticks, but like I'm holding these chopsticks and I'm trying to get like, and I'm gonna exaggerate my hand now, but like I'm trying to like get noodles, and my hands are like dropping everything, and so I ate like 3 noodles the whole night. And I just was like, you know what, just kill me now. It's kind of crazy that, because when I usually see people do this type of makeup, usually they just plop a really pigmented blush on there, and all the blush that I have, I hand selected because it was not that pigmented and it was buildable, because I am such a believer in like well placed, well intentioned blush. And So like the amount of effort that it takes me to build it up is a lot more than what people, you know, people are liking more pigmented blushes right now. And it's cool to see trends and stuff like that. And like just kind of what people are liking kind of vary over time. This is such a weird thing for me. So this is really pink, and I don't usually like these colors on myself, but I'm gonna put some oranges and peaches over it to make it look less awful. I hate these colors on myself. So, oh fuck! See this blush palette. That's why it didn't do well. The adhesive they use is awful. So this one, this is the Anastasia one. I was using the pink one. I'm gonna use the peach one. I don't think I've ever worn this much blush in my life. This is so much. I look crazy, but I just want to be like a cool kid. I think I've yet to find a person that orange or peach blush does not work on. It's just so much more flattering, I think. Maybe not exactly like this. I feel like I got punched in the face multiple times. This is weird. This is weird. And then whenever I do a blush or a contour, I like to have some of that, just like the remnants of the color over my face in different areas so that it just looks like a little bit more natural, although I don't think anything about this looks particularly natural. Okay, that's enough blush. Is this what they are talking about with blush blindness? I'm not blind to it. I know it's bad, but a little crazy. Okay, time for contour. My powder contour. Just a little streaky right there. Just continue to blend it out. I'm going to take a brush that's a little smaller, actually quite a bit smaller. I'm going to reinforce this contour that I did earlier. But I do want to start doing makeup more. I really like doing makeup, even when I'm not physically capable of doing all the stuff that I want to do. I really like it. So if you have any suggestions, I'm always open to it. I didn't mean to pick up this brush, but I think it'll be perfect. And then we're going to go even smaller with the brush, and we're going to put some of those lines down here. I forget the name of the makeup style. Again, very Eastern. Most popular right now. Just want to try new stuff, you know? It's a little tiring to do the same old thing. You get stuck in a rut, you do the same makeup for 15 years, and you're just like, you know what, I want to change it up. And I don't change up my makeup nearly enough. And this feels so counterintuitive to everything I know about makeup. We're going to highlight your eye bags, but it does look great on other people. So why not try it at least? It doesn't have to be something that sticks, but be something new. I definitely think this size brush is perfect for that. Like a liner brush. Okay, so I look absurd. I look crazy, and I actually, if I'm being honest, I totally hate this right now. But that's okay, because it's makeup. Not a big deal. Okay, we're gonna be blouse. And there are some products that people use now that I haven't had much luck with. So I've been scared to kind of get out there and try it again. Like the brow glues and stuff. But I feel like I should. Because my brows are naturally uneven, I kind of need to do a little bit more finagling to get them. Also, my mirror is over here. If you're ever wondering, like, where is he staring off into space? It's at my mirror. And I try to straighten out my brows when I kind of want this look. My brows are very naturally arched. So I'm just going to work with what I have and then add a little bit. This is very hard to do with shaky hands. I think that rather than using a brush, using a pencil is a little bit easier. And when it's fairly soft, you don't have to press really hard, but it is fairly hard. Like I'm barely touching things because I know that if I push too hard, then I'm gonna like make a really dense brush. So I'm gonna be just lenient with how my brows look right now. I'm not gonna go for perfection because they're gonna be this big. So as for crochet, which I know most people who are on here like know me for my crochet channel or whatever. So I'm still working on my project that I'm working on for winter. And then I have a packer order I need to get done. And that's keeping my hands busy. I started a project on the airplane when I was going to Raleigh, but then I didn't really work on it that much. But I'll show it off here. So I've been really liking the way that scrap project hats have looked, but I'm not using scraps for this. I'm using just 2 colors of yarn, a gray and then a sparkly black. So I'm using this, these are the colors of the LA Kings, which is a hockey team here. And so this is what it'll look like with the brim folded up. And then I'm just switching colors randomly and then leaving long tails. And then I'm also doing loop stitches so that I can cut them and they'll end up looking like this right here, so that I don't need to do any like sewing in of ends or anything like that. So these are what the loops look like before they're cut. And this is one complete stitch, so you can cut it and it doesn't unravel. And so this is half double crochet, back loop only, to make like a ribbed look. And then I do slip stitches at the top, so when it comes together, because it's worked vertically, and then you sew the edges together and you cinch up the top, and then you don't have a lot of bulk at the top, so you get a tiny butthole look rather than a loose butthole. So to correct any mistakes, to blend things, I take the spoolie end of the brush, of the pencil, whatever, and just like that. And then I also use this to get any makeup out of my mustache. Now, you can also use these pencils to fill in any gaps in your mustache. So like this side is a little bit more full than this side. And because this creates these really, really tiny strokes, because it's a super tiny little pencil. I'm not going to do too much because, again, my shaky hands is just not the time. So see, I just did a little bit. You do too much. Where you want it to blend, you take the spoolie. Good. Okay, let's do some eye makeup and get this show on the road. Now this should be interesting because I usually use a lot of brushes to do my eye makeup, and I just don't think that's the right call right now, because of how tired my hands are and how it's going to be just harder to do everything. So I'm going to try to see what I can find in the way of easier to apply shit for my eyes. And then also I love putting eyeliner on, but during times like this, I just can't. Like, I just accept that. Now, there are some adaptive tools out there that are really, really cool, but they're pretty expensive. And I just haven't really found any alternatives. Like, I think one comes with eyeliner and the tool, and it's like a flexible silicone tool, and the set is like $80. And, you know, like, that's great that it exists, but it's so cost prohibitive. And I really like my eyeliner, so I wish they just sold the tool, but, you know, also I'm sure it costs money to develop and all the stuff that they're trying to recoup, but it sucks, right? Okay. Okay, so I'm going to take the Fade into Hue palette from ColourPop, and I'm going to take Treasure, and I'm just going to go in with my fingers and see how we can make this work. And I just feel like I have so much more control with my fingers, because I just don't have a lot. And my hands are so much more tired than they were 47 minutes ago when I started this video. Okay, this orange is a lot more orange than I thought. I thought it would be a lot peachier or something. So not really what it was going for, but that's okay. I'm gonna take a pink and try to transform this into a little bit more of the color that I want. Yeah, the pink's a lot more. I might take a brush and take this same color underneath, kind of where I put this like faux lid, because I think that will be nice looking. I'm gonna take a slightly darker color. God, that's so bright. These colors are so bright. It's not really what I'm intending to do, but you know, it's just happening. I'm gonna roll with it. I'm gonna take the same brush that I used. It's not small, so I'm gonna be really light-handed with it. But it does have a bigger handle, which makes it a lot easier to grip. I'm so sweaty. But my face is not sweaty looking, which is nice because I feel very different than how my face looks. Okay, it looks really nice under the eye. It doesn't look as bright on the camera, but that's actually more what I was going for than what I'm seeing, because I didn't mean to go this hard. Oh my god. Shaky hands, you will stab yourself in the eye. I'm going to take some of this orange, and I'm going to go kind of like into here. Is that doing anything? So I'll put that orange on my nose as well to tie the colors in a little bit more. Sure, that's good enough. Okay, so I got some new mascara that I really wanted to try. I've tried it once and I didn't have the best of luck with it, but I was like, maybe it's just like the conditions in which I wore it. And you want blue cheese? Oh, you like blue cheese? Yeah, I'm not a big fan of it. I know some people like love it. It's a very divisive food. Like you either love it or you just hate it. Yeah, I don't do like the stinky cheeses, like as I call them. Like I don't do those too well. My lips are so gross. But yeah, so the mascara, I'm gonna poke myself in the eye, and then I also got this like lash comb that's like a medieval torture device looking type of thing. Works really well, but you need fairly steady hands because it is a metal comb that you are putting like right next to your eyeball. And I'm just too shaky for that. I'm just too shaky. So I think I'm gonna do a hard pass on that. I'm gonna go with a pencil liner. I think it'll be a little bit easier to control. You can smudge it if it doesn't work out. And I think that'll be better than trying like a liquid or a gel. Gel I really like most of the time, but I just don't think it's the time. Limburger cheese is the worst selling cheese. I've never had it. Never had it. I really like cheese. I don't eat much anymore just because it's like kind of like a luxury for me to have cheese at this point, just because it can add up in cost, and there's more things I'd rather spend money on. So yeah, I haven't had a lot of cheese in a while. So yeah. Do you like Limburger, even though it smells? I'm gonna go grab something real quick. Okay, so I did get some fake lashes because I was like not gonna go for it, and then I was like, you know what, let's just do it. Even though I can't use like a lash curler or anything right now with how shaky my hands are, I do think I'm steady enough to like get lashes on, whether or not they'll look great. TBD. Let's see how this liner goes first. I do think having like a standing mirror or something that you don't have to hold while you're doing this is great, because then you can kind of use the leverage of your other hand on your face, especially if you have like a powder puff or something, but I'm not too worried about it. That's a pretty bad start. Oh, this is what I feared. God, we're so shaky right now. I'm so shaky. Okay, let's try. Okay, so that is more helpful. Let me see if I have a powder puff, because that's a little big, but it's the right spirit. Now this one doesn't have like a strap on it to hold, but okay. So tons of powder on my face. That's okay. And I'm gonna take a brush. That is small and good for smudging. Now, this is a gel liner, so it does dry down. So you kind of need to move fast. Like the first pass that I did is probably dry. So that's decent. It's definitely not smooth up at the top. You can put some you can put some black shadow to smoke it out, or you can smoke out. My brain just stopped working. It's like, so that it's not as like uneven and you know. So I'm gonna try the other eye. It also has this like spongy smudger thingy on the back of it, but I don't ever particularly like those. Oh, this one got too big. And it got on the bottom. Yeah. Blech. Eyeliner is difficult on a good day. Okay, we're gonna put liner on the bottom because that's just what the makeup gods will it. Or will right now. Why did I do this? I knew this was a bad idea. Questions I ask myself frequently. I'm gonna take the remnants of the brush and just put some color underneath. Not really what I had planned. But sometimes you just gotta think on your toes in these situations. Oh, and my liner is not even. That's cool. Straighten that one out a little bit. Do you like Limburger cheese, Zach? Oh no, this is gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad. This one's way messed up. Okay, not that bad, but very uneven. Okay, so this is not how you do your makeup. This is what happens when you venture too far out of what you think you can physically do. Ton of powder everywhere. And that little bit of translucent powder did a lot of brightening, like surprisingly, right here, so that it kind of pushed the colors of the blush back, which I appreciate because it was looking a little crazy when I did it initially. Black shadow could really, really rock my world right now in a very bad way. In a very, very bad way. but I think it's the right call. And take that smudging brush, tap it off a ton. And just with the lightest hand, I can possibly manage. I'm going to thicken this side a little bit so that I don't look more crazy than I have to. Instead of smudging it back and forth, I'm just going to kind of place it kind of like a paddle, and I'm just kind of sweeping it like that to build up this side bit by bit. And sometimes like I'll do the makeup really fast, and then I'll spend like the amount of time that I did the entire rest of the makeup just on the eyeliner to get it right. Like sometimes it's like that. Like you hope that it's not going to be like that, but you really want, because wonky eyeliner, wonky eyelashes, they really pull focus from like the rest of the makeup very easily. Okay, we're almost there. Okay, I think we got them mostly even because like they just had different, like, think about them like waves and how they go up and up and up on certain aspects, just like where they sometimes you have a relatively flat liner and it's the same thickness the whole way through. This one just decided to do its own thing and just like jumped because my hand. So I'm gonna apply a little bit more black right here. Okay, let's put some lashes on, see if everything's good enough. We're so close to the end. So lips and eyelashes should be everything. Okay, so I don't wear these lashes much because they're very pretty and I don't want to, use them just on a random day, but I feel like I would like some pretty lashes. So, ooh, these are going to be, it's going to be a challenge to do these with shaky hands, but it's possible. Anything's possible when you believe. That's not true. I wish this wasn't one of the last steps because it does require a lot steadier by hand. But it's definitely going to be easier than putting mascara on because mascara will get everywhere. Put glue on both. Let it set up, get tacky. like that nose. I need to do some more research on exactly what goes on the rest of the nose because I know this part and that's it, but I think that contour looks really good. I really like it on my face. Okay. Try to get nice and steady if possible. Okay. Oh god, it's so shaky. The inside's not glued on. Pretty good. Not mad at it. My hand's shaking so much. Like the pinching part isn't the problem. It's just if I have to pick it up and place it and move it, then that becomes like a little bit more of a issue. I think they're pretty even. Sure. Now I have some like different lip colors that would be that I've been wanting to do, but I don't think those match this at all. So let's see. Like I got this like really pretty like the chocolatey brown one that looks nice, but I don't think that that's actually I probably could do that and then this gloss that I have. Let's try that. Sure, whatever. I don't really like this. I like this color. I don't like the pencil. Okay, brown lip liner. This is more squared off, isn't it? Okay. So this is Film Noir by MAC. And it's just a really freaking pretty color. My hands are so shaky. This is oh, this is very hard. Darker colors with shaky hands. Nope. And I have a sparkle, a piece of glitter right there. That looks really good with it. Okay, I was totally wrong. I love being wrong, especially when it looks this good. Now I don't wear cream like lipsticks a lot, um, so I'm not used to like this much like moving like bulk on my lips, but it looks cool and I'm happy with it. So let me get the lip gloss and then we'll be done. Okay, I actually guess I don't know where my lip glosses are. That's like huge bag. I thought it was where my blushes were. This is a sign that I need to clean my. I need to organize my makeup again. And I think I'll do a video of that because I was thinking how like I have a bunch of like products that I don't use on people anymore. I use on myself because they're expired, but they're like things that I've had in my kit for a really long time that I really really like. That I'm like, oh, like it'll just be fun to like share them and like give them their time in the spotlight because they were so good to me. Haha, I found it. So the gloss I'm gonna use is the MAC Viva Glam Rihanna. Like this, she's old, but she's amazing, and it's like a really unique reflect in it. Because it's like a like purple gray gloss with like a green pink reflect. I had okay hair on my finger. It's such a sticky gloss, but worth it because it gives that pretty reflect. Okie dokie. Well, I think I'm done. It only took me an hour and 15 minutes, so I guess that's not bad considering how much time it took me to just finagle this this eyeliner. I'm pretty happy with it. I forgot how much I like this foundation, even though it makes me break out, so that's why I don't wear it. And these lashes are cute. But the blush is cool. It doesn't make my face look as terribly huge as I thought it would. You posted a TikTok? Oh, I'll have to check it out. I don't really go on TikTok, but I'll go check yours out. But yeah, some things that I tried that were different that I don't normally do, I ended up really liking. So, which, I'm always open to trying new things. I just haven't in a while. So, yeah, the hands are still like, I showed my hands at the beginning of this and how shaky they were, but let's do a shaky test. Stop it. Stop. It's like it's so bad right now. It's so bad. So I am checking with my doctors to make sure that to see what we can do, and hopefully it's nothing and something fixable. Because in a central tremor, like there's very little that they can do, and I'm on a medication that already helps with it. And so if this is what it looks like better, hell yeah, that'd be awesome. I'm totally game for that. And yeah, so my hands are definitely shakier than they were at the beginning of this, like I thought. And there were some things that I think working with my hands rather than brushes was the best thing I could do for myself with this. Lashes are doable for sure, just more challenging. Eyeliner, like I kind of feel like that was a pain that I don't know if I needed to go through. But there's some cool things about this that I'm happy with. Weather depending, yeah, I know, and you can't control that. So, well, I'll roll with the punches, and you just let me know when you need me, because I'll be around. My life is pretty uninteresting. But yeah, and I might go live on my with now that I'm like I have this on. I might go live on my main channel because why not, right? Uh, but yeah, thanks for hanging out with me, Zach. I really appreciate it. I know that you're not into makeup. I know that this is definitely not your thing, but you hanging out means a lot to me. I appreciate it. So I'm gonna head out, but I'll probably be live within maybe like an hour or so on my regular channel. If you want to hang out, but no pressure. Again, thank you, and thanks to everyone who watches this on the replay or whatever. So, yep, I'll talk to you later.